how that occurred?
I don't. It happened in drill, and somehow you get it just right. I mean, see, I don't know. You'd have to ask him if he got it in the chin, or maybe it was. I don't know. I really don't know. I just know that he felt something, and they've evaluated it, and that's. So then he goes into the protocol thing, and that's how they determine when they're ready to come back and everything like that. So he seems to be doing good, though.
How are the guys doing in his place in practice?
It's been great work for him. Yeah, great work. The young guys, it's like Aaron last year, it's like, Spencer last year, all those guys, that extra work is great for them. And they just keep me in those reps. Yesterday practice was like I hate to say old school, but a lot of reps, a lot of team plays, a lot of contact, and it's really, really good for them to play themselves into shape. And for guys that need to improve, that's the best chance you have to get better besides the preseason games.
You're using Nick at different spots across the interior just to get him comfortable and evaluating the guys.
Well, because his role, I don't think Nick coming into camp is in a position to compete for a starting job. So his thing is to try to put himself in a position to be, just like we're doing with Keith. Ishmael has to be able to do the inside three. So John Feliciano, him, they're going to have to do that thing where they figure out right guard, left guard, center, kind of get comfortable in all of them and see how they do that, have that flexibility.
Is that the same with Poe?
Yeah, Poe, and we started getting Jason some snaps at center now early in practice, and he's done a great job learning the offense. As far as run, he's not like a very verbal guy from line calls. Some football players get out there, as you can probably imagine, McGlinchey, right? Let's not go back to a guy that's not here, right? And he's going to be talking all the time. He's always going to be talking. He'll be talking to guards, he'll be talking to tackle, he'll be talking to tight end. And Poe's going to go play, go block people the best he can. A center has to be able to communicate, and Jason's got to learn how to do that. So first of all, seeing just how well he can play, so he's got to get in that position, and he'll be the same as those other three eventually, taking some snaps at center.
We see him in one-on-ones, and he usually does very well in the one-on-one blocking drills. Physically, is there anything, or what exactly does Jason Poe need to work on?
No, his thing is stature, because there is a point where no matter how strong you are, he might be the second strongest guy on the team to trim. There is just a thing of just the size. It's just a deal. Offensive line, and he may be fringe just too short or lengthwise or things like that. Although he's right on the borderline, and it's going to be tough. There's always range. It's range. It's how far do you get from here to here. He's fast. He's quick, but there's just that length, and there's sometimes, and that'd be the only thing that keeps him from doing it. That's why they move to center. If he can do snapping, the calls, all the things that go with that, then that may be a better position because that's a little less. There's certain things in every position, arm length, every position's got different variables that matter. And Jason's just below the line on those things in some areas, but he might be able to overcome because of strength.
Why is length less of a concern at center than at guard?
I think the proximity of the people you have to block. You start moving, the further away you get from the ball, and it's amazing. You say, okay, this guy he's a tackle, and he has 33 and 5/8 at the combine. And the other guy's got 34 and an 8. And the difference between a guy that has 33 and whatever I just said and 34 plus, it could be 4 or 5 rounds, and one guy makes it, one guy doesn't. It's unbelievable how it shows up. Now, there's so many more factors that come into it, but that you look at it and say, gosh, it's funny how come all these tackles that are successful have just over 34, and these guys at 33, how many are under 34 inches of tackle that make it, how many are over? It's unbelievable. And it has to be something to it over the course of all this time. And then as you move into center, there's an arm length there too. If you get under, I think it's 31 inches, I don't remember offhand, but it makes a difference. And it's just the proximity, I think, of where the guy is.
Chris, what's Feliciano added to your room, and where's his best spot? I know he can play all three, but where do you think he grades out highest?
I think his best spot is center, and he does play well at guard. He's doing a great job on all three inside. The guards in this offense, and John's got it. He just has to do more of it with us. That there's a quickness to our running game. John's played guard, done a good job in this league. He played all last year at center and did a really good job for the Giants. Center's his best spot, but he's going to have to play guard for us as well. And I think he's doing a good job. Every day he does it, he gets a little bit more exposure to what we do and does it a little bit better. He just hasn't done a lot of our run game. It was little small sample sizes.
I know Jalen's out right now, but at that backup tackle battle, are you looking position specific? So Jalen at left tackle, Matt Pryor working at right, or are you going for some versatility there?
Well, we're trying to give, and what I'm doing with Matt is, Matt has had most success on the right side. I want him to be able to put his best foot forward in this camp. We have Leroy and Jalen that we've been working on at both sides. Eventually, Matt's going to have to do both, and that will come as I see how this thing plays out with him going forward. Then we may have to start rotating. It's probably going to come after the Raiders practice sessions. So all three of them should have to play both sides.
How are your young tight ends working out in the run blocking?
They're doing a good. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
Are you done?
The rookies, yeah.
Yeah, they're doing a good job. No, they're doing a good job. They're working real hard, and they do. They don't do a lot of it in college. It's harder, and then the 9 techniques make it even harder on the tight ends. But both those guys have really worked hard and done a good job. They just got a ways to go still, both of them.
And then between Charlie Warner and Ross Dwelly, how's that competition going for?
They're doing great. I mean, all those they're interchangeable right now. They all work. They all have some things they do a little better than the others, but really though, between George, the guys that have been here, they get it, and they're doing things very, very well for each other.
Spencer Burkert was in here the other day talking about his transformation from last year to this year and how he's lost a little bit of weight, about 8-9 pounds. That might seem like not a lot to the casual fan, but what have you seen in his build up this year compared to his rookie year?
I mean, he literally, it's like there's a step when a kid's growing up, right? You look like all of a sudden you were the pudgy kid in 8th grade, you come back after summer vacation, and now you look, oh my gosh, you grew up over this summer, right? That's kind of what Spence did. He kind of worked his butt off this offseason, came back after the season and lost the weight, kind of just redefined where his body is and put it together better. And it does. His stamina, everything about him has grown up. Whatever his maturity, his mental, just capabilities, understanding the offense, and his physical as well. And he's really, really well put together guy. Right? He's taking care of his body. He's really doing things the right way. He's disciplined with his diet. Everything. He's doing a great job.
Chris, I like to watch the one-on-one O-line, D-line drill, and obviously the backup D-linemen are going to be important. They're going to play in a rotation. I know you're an O-line coach, but which of the backup defensive linemen are impressing you in those one-on-ones?
Oh man, to be honest with you, I don't spend a lot of time with them. They're all doing a good job, and if Kyle says, "Hey, how's 62 doing?" He's doing a good job. How's so? They all. Chris has those guys playing so hard and so well. I don't think I could single any guy out to say, "Oh my gosh, this guy." And I don't even know their depth chart, to be honest with you. I mean, I know Kinlaw. Is Kinlaw back up?
He's there.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
He's
I
there.
don't know either. So, but they all work really, really hard. I wouldn't say I see every one of those guys is, like I said, Chris has them going and come off the ball hard. Every one of them gives us fits, and I really don't notice them at this point because I'm so worried about the guys that I have trying to do that. So.
Looking ahead to the joint practices, is there a sense that everybody's ready to hit somebody that's not around here?
I don't think we got there yet. No, I think schematically it'll be good because our defense kind of the 9, that what they do schematically, I think coaches probably more than players. Players, I don't get the feeling yet that we haven't been hitting enough. Yeah, after a couple weeks of hitting, you're lucky I'm done with this. I'm ready for the next guy. I think we're not at that point. I mean, it'll be great to do, but it is early, right? It's not normal the first week before the first preseason game. But I'm glad we're doing that. It'll be great.
How much is
Leroy Watson's been a player who's been able to get some reps a little earlier the last couple of days because of injuries. How is he kind of stepping up for you?
It's been great to watch him. The question was asked earlier about the development of these guys and the different positions and stuff. And Leroy's one of those guys. He's made great strides, not to be confused with Reddy. Same thing with Nick. Great strides, but not quite there yet. Poe, they're really. It's been great for him, but it's only a few practices in. It's not a lot of game reps. But boy, it's been great that he's going to get all these exposures. And now it's just a matter of whether we can build on it and it doesn't fall back, because you start making progress. Sometimes it's 2 steps forward, 1 step back. You got to keep them progressing. It's been cool to see.
How much progress has Tidy Davis Price made from last year to this year?
It's unreal right now. Last year he looked good early. He looked good when we didn't have the pads on, and all of a sudden as we started playing games, different things happened during the course of the year. It just wasn't as good. He right now looks like a man on a mission. He's fun to watch. He is a boy. I see all the things we saw when we drafted him. He just gets to the open field. He's a load. He's fast. He's seen things better. He understands the offense better. Everything about him, like all these guys, first to second year, you get your rookie year, and sometimes you're just, your head starts spinning. It doesn't stop until the season's over. Ty's been that kid that, man, everything's kind of coming together for him. He looks like a different guy. He's playing very, very well. It's fun to watch.
It seemed like he just shot out of a cannon on a draw. I think he ran through the other day, but he's heavier this year. But I guess he's cut fat, so he's probably leaner and faster.
That's the whole thing. Is these guys, in college, college, I don't know much about college football. I know here, everything becomes a factor when you get to this building. Nutrition, strength coach. You see other guys, right? You don't know, and then all of a sudden you watch Christian McCaffrey train. You watch Juice, what he does. If I just do a little bit of this, and Spencer comes in and see how Trent takes care of himself. You're like, and that's what happens. And all of a sudden, your body changes. You get stronger, become more explosive. You may lose weight, but gain more explosion because of what they do in the weight room with our guys. And everything we do trains towards what that person needs and where he needs to, what he needs fixed, how we can make him more explosive. And so our staff here, they do such a good job. And then, like I said, the confidence that he has. He understands now what he's reading on the draw. He's not guessing. He knows he sees it and he gets it.
Has there been a concerted effort over the past couple of years? I know the coaching staff works closely here with the personnel department, but to get backs that are a little bit bigger, also obviously still fast, but given the fact that it seems that defenses around the league are getting smaller. And
yeah, I think we just evaluate the player, and then it's not a non-factor at all, but it's like, let's first look at the skill set. If the guy's a good runner, then okay, there's a bigger guy, there's a smaller guy, then that has to be at some point. It's not like a conservative, so we need a bigger guy doing this stuff.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Thanks.